Troops, this is the Eagle Podcast, the home of accountability. Here we are, we're live. I've been joined today by an absolute powerhouse on TikTok. You've heard the entire world talking about TikTok. And if you're on TikTok, you need to go and follow this man because he drops nothing but positivity, creativity, and he will give you the keys to the kingdom if you're only willing to listen. Billy Garton, how you doing, sir?
Appreciate your time, John. Really glad, really happy to be here. I'm humbled by your words. So.
Well, what I'll do, Billy, is I'll clip it up for you, and every time you go into a room, you can play that as your intro, no problem.
Unbelievable. I'm getting it on my own podcast, my own socials and everything, your voice.
No, brilliant. It's great stuff. Look, Billy, we've connected by the power of social media and mainly by the power of TikTok. So I feel like it's prevalent to start with TikTok. Why is it taken off in the way that it is, in your opinion?
TikTok as a platform, there's never been a platform out there that offers the opportunity that TikTok offers. You know, it's a platform that you can literally have no followers. You can post once, you can get 1 million views, and all of a sudden you're on your way. So I saw the potential with that about 4 or 5 months ago, and I just did my best to capitalize. I started posting the things that I care about. I remained organic. I remained authentic to me. I found a challenge in we can get into it a little bit, but jumping in cold water every day that seems to have performed well. I get a lot of hate, but I also get a lot of motivation, a lot of love, and a lot of people that have actually messaged me saying that I've inspired them. And so my goal the whole time was to find something where I could be relevant and I could share my story and share my message and share what I'm learning and do it in a way that I'm resonating with thousands of people. And TikTok was that platform. So I've been fortunate enough to be able to use the keys, use the engagement, use the analytics, use the metrics and evaluate using my social media skills, but also just be 100% me, be 100% real. And fortunately for me, it's resonated and I've been fortunate. I think I've not checked this morning yet, but we're in the morning in California at the moment.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to hit 50,000 followers probably by tomorrow. So
awesome.
Yeah, it's been a cool journey.
And what would you say is important? Like, what is the naysay in success?
So, I mean, you mean success on TikTok?
Yeah, success on TikTok.
So the naysay in success on TikTok, there's a few key metrics, but I mean, I've spoken to loads of people about this. I've spoken about what works and what doesn't. At the end of the day, there's no set thing that works.
Yeah.
There is you, there is who you are, there is what you stand for, and there is how you can use that to maximize your potential on the platform. If you're boring, I'm just going to be honest, you're not really going to be able to grow. I'm just being honest. I found value in me putting myself all energy, 100% out there, loud, energetic, motivational, giving my story, sharing my value in a driven way. And that's what's resonating with people. You know, there's certain things obviously that I put in my content as well that help it, such as engaging titles and quick transitions that keep people engaged. But at the end of the day, I think just who you are is what's going to stand out. Who you are and how you can give value. You know, people try to share things and talk about what they try to talk about what they aren't good at. They think this might perform well, so I'll post about it even though I've never done it. You know, and subconsciously people can see through that. So definitely I'd say stick to what you're good at, know what you care about and talk about that. Don't sway from things you love and things you enjoy and things you actually are knowledgeable about.
Yeah, I think the first thing that sort of got me about you, and we sort of talked about it offline, you know, you've got a very commanding presence and I like people who are very positive because if you're the smartest man in the room, you need to move to a different room. And I feel like that's probably the reason why you maybe get a little bit of heat, because sometimes people are lost and they're looking for people to blame instead of just saying, well, I'm lost because I'm lost as an individual, and instead of embracing someone who can give them knowledge.
Yeah, no, I 100%, you know, people lose what they are. They lose their authenticity. They lose who they are as a person as soon as they try to be exactly that and become something they're not. Yeah, you're exactly right. People will start off with a vision. They'll post twice or they'll post once. They'll think, oh, this isn't working. This is shocking. I don't know if I can swear on this podcast, but
yeah, swear.
Well, nothing is shite. If they post once or they post twice, they'll think this is bullshit. What's everyone talking about? It's not working. I'm going to give up and I'm going to start talking about how to make money when I've never made money in my life, you know? And so that's what most people resort to. I played the patience game with it, you know? I started 4 months ago. I've been fortunate that I've grown quickly, but if I didn't grow quickly and I was only on 1,000 now, I'd still be putting out the same message. I'd still be putting out the same value. And I'm doing that on Instagram. I have 3,000 followers on Instagram, and I'm going to continue to put out as much content as I can until I build an audience that is engaging, you know?
Great points. And consistency is key in any business that you do, regardless of if it's in the real world or if it's on social media. But I feel like for some reason, people want instant gratification. Where's that come from?
I think, and I've been guilty of this in the past as well, lack of understanding or lack of patience with the journey. And also lack of enjoyment for the journey. You know, Gary Vee talks a little bit about this. He says he enjoys the journey. I resonate with that massively. I love creating content. I love resonating with people. I love responding to DMs. I love getting on podcast episodes like this. The journey of it is fun to me. I think obviously the end goal will be great. Don't get me wrong. The end goal and what will come from it will be fantastic. But I mean, I'm 21 years old. I've got 70 years left to live. Unless obviously other circumstances happen that are outside of my control. When you put yourself in those terms, that you've got 70 years to build something for yourself. Most people put everything in 2 week standpoints. If I'm not here in 2 weeks, I want to create this goal in 2 weeks, and they get discouraged if it doesn't work. I want to get this amount of views. You can't tell the audience how to react to your content. You know, at the end of the day, think about it in 5-year terms. You know, I'm pushing out content, not knowing what people resonate with. Some of my videos get very little traction, and that's fine because, you know, what I like, other people might not like. You know, so I'm in the game of patience. I'm in the game of understanding that this is a long game, and I'm 21 years old. I'm looking at where I want to be when I'm 30, not where I'm 20 when I'm 22 in 5 months' time. You know?
No, I think you've got a great outlook on it. It is definitely about long game and building brand over building sales. And I sort of watched someone this week on a webinar talking about how TikTok's not right for every brand. I sort of disagree because I believe that if you're creative, you will find a way for that platform to work for any business. And particularly they were talking about running shoes. And I was like, what? It's a perfect app for running shoes. There's so much you could do. You could make I made a silly little video tonight about my new running shoes, and I tagged the local shop that I bought them from in, and now they've reshared it. And like, it's great. Like, where do you think TikTok will be in, say, a year to 2 years' time with big brands?
Yeah, so I completely agree with you, by the way. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, look at it. TikTok's free marketing. So anyone who's going to say that it's not helpful is telling you lies, because why would you not capitalize on the opportunity to build an audience, no matter where they are, build your brand on a platform where it costs $0? $0 is what it costs to start a TikTok. $0 is what it costs to put out content. $0 it costs to resonate with an audience and build a loyal following. So anyone who's going to tell you that it doesn't work for certain brands or you shouldn't do it, bullshitting you. There's not always benefits of it. If you could say that you're the most niche, most targeted in a specific area brand in the world, and I'd still say, yeah, get on TikTok. You'll build brand, you'll filter people through to other platforms. You could potentially open up other avenues like virtual consultations and other avenues to your business from the platform. Don't look at it so one-dimensional. People look at things like, oh, we're a shop, and if we don't target this demographic in this space, then there's no point in doing it. What about building 100,000 followers of an audience on TikTok that's going to transfer to Instagram? So anyone who's in that area who sees your profile realizes that you've built brand. All of a sudden you've built trust, and then all of a sudden you've built an actual business for yourself with a loyal and trustworthy audience. What about thinking in those terms?
Again, look, you create so many great points, and I feel like, do you know what I think it really comes down to, Billy? I think people are frightened to be judged about being on TikTok by maybe their peers or the social groups, or even in certain industries. Like, a certain industry may look at someone using TikTok and say, that's not how we do it in this industry. And I think if that's the case, then you need to be a pioneer. And a pioneer has always been that person who's gone, well, I ain't going to do it like that anymore because the world is changing. And if I don't evolve, then I'll be like the dinosaurs. I
want to add something to that.
Yeah, go for it.
You quickly go on. People who are saying TikTok isn't for them, right? I filmed a video about this. I've talked about it a little bit in podcasts. Facebook wasn't for anyone in 2008 other than college kids.
Great stuff.
Look who's on it now. Look who's on it now. 65 to 90-year-old people. Instagram in 2011. I was on Instagram in 2011 as a young teenager posting stupid little photos about my life, as was everyone else. Now it's dominated by businesses and people trying to market. 100%. Everything ages up. TikTok's for 7 to 13-year-olds now, maybe. Maybe you're saying it's for 7 to 13-year-olds. I've built an audience of nearly 50,000 people now. Hopefully I'm going to be at 100,000 in the next couple of months or so. By the time everyone's on there, my ideal audience, I will have an audience of people that I portray my content to. So stop thinking about what it is and what it isn't, and look at the history of these social platforms and realize everything ages up. You know, one day everyone's going to be on TikTok, you know?
Yeah, I'm totally on brand with it. Like, and I sit there and I watch some of the TikTok videos and I think, how have they created this? Like, what the creativity and the design? You know, if I was an artist or I was in fashion, I'd be looking at these people saying, "Wow, they've got something. Like, who is this?" And you know, get them early, get them before they become that stellar influencer. You know, I had a conversation. We'll move on to influencers actually, because this is an interesting point of view. Because I feel like people struggle with influencers. Instead of going for the right influencer for their brand, they go for whoever's got the biggest following, and the two don't sort of always go together. It's a bit of a mismatch. What's your take?
Yeah. No, it's funny because I'm actually in the process of building 2 influencer campaigns right now for 2 of my clients within my social media industry, and I completely agree with you. People often will reach out to someone and it's not authentic. They'll reach out to someone and they'll say, you've got whatever, hundreds of thousands of followers. Can you do one post for us? Put this top on, or say one post saying you love this product. That's not going to perform well with anyone. You have to evaluate a lot of things that go into it. You have to evaluate their audience, their engagement. You have to evaluate how organic their content comes across. You have to evaluate the promotions they've done in the past and how well they've performed. You know, if I reached out to someone who ran a dog page with 1 million followers and said, promote our clothing brand or promote this, it would get nothing, literally nothing. I don't care what you say, how many followers you've got, nothing. And so you've got to evaluate that, you know. I mean, I can't give too much away, but I'm working with a teeth whitening brand at the moment and we're building an influencer campaign, and everyone that we are working with or trying to work with has a positive outlook on life, are promoting something to do with happiness and smiling and positivity, and that's the message we want to portray. So that's why we're going to skip fucking Kim Kardashian, who's got 100 million followers, and we're going to go with this organic, on-brand type of influencer who we feel can genuinely portray the message that we want, you know?
That's a great point. What would be the best way to approach an influencer? If you say you had a virgin business starting out on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, say, for example, you owned a coffee shop and you're in a local area, how would you sort of say to someone, oh, look, I want to bring an influencer in? What's the sort of go-to?
Yeah, so, I mean, there's 2 ways to go about it. It depends really on when you're starting out how much money you've got, because there are platforms like Aspire IQ where you can sign up for the platform, you pay or whatever, $2,000 a month or something, and you get access to all these influencers. Wow. You build partnerships and everything. And then there's also the way which I've had with some clients as well, where you have to just reach out organically via your platform and say, listen, we're whatever we are, a young brand, we're a coffee shop, we're a teeth whitening brand. We love your content. We love what you're putting out, and we'd love to get on the phone with you and discuss a potential influencer collaboration. And once you're on the phone, you get on the phone with myself and the owner of the brand, and you be honest with them. You say, we love your message. We're not looking for anyone here. We're looking for specific targeted people that fit what the message that we're trying to portray. And we feel that you can do that. So, I mean, if you don't have a lot of money, you can create, I don't care what anyone says, you can create an influencer campaign with $0. And I've done that. I've created influencer campaigns with people with hundreds of thousands of followers with $0 because they believe so much in the message. They believe so much in the product. You get them a product for free. You say, listen, we're building an influencer campaign with you because we believe in you. We believe in your message. And we are evaluating with different influencers in a similar niche, similar realm, similar message. And then in a month's time, we're going to do a 30-day trial. We're going to see how it performs. And in a month's time, we'll sit down and evaluate something more long-term.
I mean, that's a great point, Billy. You can say to people, look, can we do it on sales? If you sell us X amount of, whatever product, we can give you 20% on the sales. You know what I mean? Like you can put the ball in their court. You can say it's on you. The more you sell, the more you get. I feel like a lot of people are frightened to ask. Instead of
Yeah, yeah, and it goes down to consistency as well. With that, in two ways, it goes down to consistency, because it's tough to do a partnership with an influencer on sales if they're only doing one post, because people need to build trust with the brand. First you need to build awareness, then you need to build trust, and then you need to obviously turn it into conversions. So that's why I try to create longer term partnerships with influencers. But also you need to be consistent in your outreach. If they don't respond after one, think about how many hundreds of thousands of DMs they're getting on a daily basis. Look at the other platforms. I've gone to people who've got 100,000 followers on Instagram and gone and found that their TikTok has 15,000, and I've reached out to them there. Or I've found their email and reached out to them there. I've gone on LinkedIn and exploit them where they're weak,
That's a great point. You've talked LinkedIn there, and I personally think LinkedIn is the platform now. What I mean by that is it's the right platform for me because of what I do and the corporate stuff that I do in the mountains and that sort of stuff and corporate days. And I've got a very unique way of doing it when I connect with people. I always send people a voice note. Like I connect and then send a voice note. And there's no sell. There's no, this is what I do. It's just, hey, thanks very much for connecting. Great to see what you're all about. Look forward to interacting with you. Have a great day. And the amount of people who get back to me and say, wow, I've never had a voice note before, John. Fantastic. Let's jump on a Zoom call. Let's jump on a Skype call. Let's go for a coffee. Be different. Are you on LinkedIn? Do you LinkedIn? Are you smashing that as well?
I am on LinkedIn. Yeah. I am on LinkedIn. I've not built anywhere near the audience on LinkedIn that I have on TikTok right now. I'm probably in a similar realm on LinkedIn than I am on Instagram. But what I will say is you can create a lot of business and monetary value from LinkedIn with any number of followers, because you can connect with anyone. You can build relationships with people. You can engage with posts within a specific niche. And I love the message that you're sending where you create a voice message. I've actually done that. I do that for my own personal branding stuff as well. I've got, like I said, nearly 50K on TikTok, but on Instagram, I'm going to hit probably 4,000 in the next couple of days here. But I have people that I'm reaching out to and connecting that have 100,000 plus followers that are in my niche because, like you said, I'm creating video messages. I'm filming myself saying, hey, Daniel, or whatever your name is. Lovely, like, love to connect. We're obviously of a similar age. You've got a great message that you're portraying. I've got a podcast coming out, the Inspiring Young Aspirers. First of all, I'd love to connect. And second of all, I'd love to have you as a guest on my podcast. Let's see what we can create, Brilliant. And from there, people are like, you know what? He's not sending out an automated message to hundreds of thousands of people every day. He genuinely wants to resonate with me. And so I'm going to give him the time of day, That's great knowledge bombs there. And sort of, we've talked Instagram a little bit. Now, the platforms I'm heavy on is Instagram and LinkedIn. That's my two main platforms that I spend a lot of time on. And I'm sort of starting to get where I want to get in the Instagram world. I have a lot of fun with Instagram, and I'm doing this thing at the moment called Live at 5, where I'm bringing people from my network on my live calls, and we're just having like a mini podcast, and I'm saying, tell us your greatest story, tell me something about you that I didn't know, and like having this great engagement. And but one thing that sort of fascinates me with Instagram is this people who feel the need to go and buy a fake following, and these apps, these follow-unfollow apps that cause absolute chaos with your analytics. What's your take on that, and why do you think people do it? So I disagree massively with fake followers. I disagree with it hand on heart till the day I put in my grave. I'll never, ever, ever buy a follower in my life. I think it's bullshit. I think it's lying to your audience. I think it's lying to yourself. And I think it's trying to build a fake reputation that at the end of the day will get seen through. I had a client last year who, I don't work with them anymore, but I went into them off the initial understanding that you've got a decent brand here, you've got 18,000 followers, you've built something pretty cool. I think I could take you to the next level. And as soon as I started working with them, I started digging deeper, and I was like, why are you getting 50 views on your videos with 18,000 followers? Why are you getting 5 likes and 0 comments and no engagement, no DMs. And then I started realizing, oh, they had a social media manager before me who bought them followers and was lying to them that these were real people when they weren't. And people see through that as well, you know. Like I'm 100% a believer that if you have more followers, it can help with building your brand. No doubt about that, because people come to your page to think he's built trust. But doing it in a way that is fake goes the other way. As soon as people come to your page and they see, even if you buy likes, you're getting the same amount of likes but no comments. You have 18,000 followers, or you have 25, or you have 100 followers, but you're getting less than 100 likes. People go the other way and go, you are the biggest bullshitter in the entire world, and I'm not only not going to follow you, but I'm just going to turn everyone off of you, and anyone who ever asks about you, I'm going to say, nah, they're fake followers. That's not real, you know?
No, it's interesting, and sort of, one thing sort of I've heard you talk about a lot of is you talk about don't post in the hashtags. Is it for you? FYB for like
FYP, yeah.
Yeah, what's that doing? Like, why is that a bad sign?
So, and I've had hate and backlash from this as well, because people have used the hashtag for you page and gotten millions of views, and I've got no doubt about that. But I'm talking to the average Joe who is putting out content. I'm not talking to the 1 in a million who's using the For You page and it's actually working. Think about how many people are using the hashtag FYP or the hashtag For You page. You could have someone who's a property investor using that hashtag, and you also could have a 13-year-old girl who's putting out dances using the same hashtag. So it's not targeted. You can't put out content and expect that hashtag to get engagement. And what TikTok does is the hashtags that you use, it splits who it pushes the content out to based on what hashtags you use. So if you use 3 hashtags and one of them is FYP and the other one's For You page, 66% of the people that are going to see your videos are people that are on just engaging with the hashtag For You page that might have no interest, you know? And so only 33% are going to be, say you're talking about marketing like I do, only 33% will see marketing. And then that's how it becomes harder to grow, you know? Whereas if you use hashtags like mass marketing, social media tips, everyone that's seeing the content is interested in what I'm putting out, you know?
Yeah, dead interesting. And obviously, I don't know what's sort of happening where you are, where you live in the world, but I believe that COVID-19 for business can really be a great moment, because I feel it is a great moment to build brand and to build trust with people. And don't worry about the sales. I know that's a very, end of the day, we all got bills to pay, but like, just be a good human being, and on the other side of that, your success will come.
Massive. And I feel like you're resonating some of the messages that I'm putting out about that, because people look at everything on social media as how much money can I make and how can I make a return on my investment like that? How quick can I do it? No. If you look at it as a long game, going back to patience before, and you look at this opportunity now to resonate with people on a personal level, because think about it, in social media, your followers are coming to your page, and the first time they see you, they have no clue who you are. They have no clue what you do. They have no clue who the owner is. They have no clue about the personable feel to the restaurant. How do you, sorry, not to the restaurant. I'm thinking in restaurant.
Yeah, it's cool.
But say you were a restaurant. Let's go into the restaurant. Say you're a restaurant and you're putting out content. Talk about your story. Talk about how if you're an Italian restaurant, talk about how you got the recipe for your spaghetti or whatever. Talk about where you came from. Talk about your history, the ancestry. That's how you're going to resonate with people. That's how you're going to build trust. And that's how you're going to think people are going to be like, these guys are genuinely in the business of building relationships with people. And I resonate with that. You know, if you're just posting a photo of your food, no one's ever going to go past the initial barrier of seeing what you have at face value, you know? And so I really think, and I genuinely believe, that if you go deeper with your content and build relationships with people that way, on the back end in months' time, it pays off massively.
Billy, are you familiar with the brand Grenade? They do protein bars in the UK. Are you familiar with Grenade?
Briefly, yeah, heard of. I couldn't tell you anything about them, but
right.
Yeah.
Well, they've played an absolute blinder, because what they've been doing is they've been donating Grenade branded products to the NHS, frontline NHS workers. And Trust me when I say, on the UK sort of LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, their posts in your timeline all the time. Talk about an absolute masterclass where they've gone and said, right, we're going to supply the NHS with snacks, protein drinks, health stuff. For as long as COVID is in play, we're going to donate to all these big charity NHS. And the kudos that they're getting, it's next level. Like, that is a super smart thing to do.
Super smart thing to do. And they're obviously losing money on the front end, but the brand that they've built, like you were talking about before, the reputation they've built, the people that are going to make the decision off emotion, people make this buying decisions off of emotion. And so they are going to resonate with them more than Cliff Bar or whatever now, because
100%.
Look at the message that they're portraying. They're genuinely in this for the people, you know?
100%.
And so that's a really, really smart business move. I'm doing it a little bit with my own agency as well. Not obviously giving out things, but when I'm getting on the phone with people, I'm setting up a lot more calls now, because I'm saying, listen, normally this would be a sales call. Normally we'd be getting on the phone with you here to try and close you on a deal. But with everything going on, we want to simply get on the phone with you and discuss strategy, how you can
100%.
maximize your potential during this time, and we'll do it for free. And in a few months' time, you've led people to realizing what they're doing wrong, and they might come to you and say, all right, we want your business now.
100%. It's a smart way to think.
Troops, do you ever wonder, do Eagles drink coffee? And the answer is, yes they do, but they only drink Green Beret coffee. Green Beret coffee, veteran-owned business. Best coffee in the UK, if not the world. Find it at greenberetcoffee.co.uk. Use the promo code EAGLE5 and get 5% off. Get awesome coffee out.
It's really interesting to talk to you, Billy. I think you're one of those guys, and I'm lucky that I've got you now, because I feel like in 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years time, you will be the guy. Like, you will be the guy where you're on the pages, the Gary V sort of Grant Cardone sort of level, because you just give out the energy. Do you know what I mean? Like, you resonate with people. I'm across in the UK and I'm watching your content from America, and I'm like, this guy's got something. It's obvious. Like,
appreciate that.
100%. No, really, really mean it. Obviously, you've been jumping in a cool pool of water every day. Let's talk that. Where's that come from?
So I actually before I started, I listen a lot to podcasts. I listen a lot to gurus, and I see obviously people like Gary Vee and Grant Cardone and Ty Lopez and people like that as virtual mentors to me. I really invested in learning from them. But I was listening to the Tony Robbins podcast.
Cool.
And I was listening to, I think it was his episode with Mike Tyson,
right.
Or it might have been a different episode, but he talks about in it that he jumps in a cold plunge every morning. And the reason he does it is because he doesn't get up to the pool and go, I'm going to do something else first, or I need to do this before I do it, or maybe debates it and feels how the water feels before he does it. He walks up to it, he jumps straight in, and that's the end of it. And he said what it's really helped him with is, one, it's obviously great for your immune system. It shocks your body into life and sort of gets you ready for the day, which is all good and well. But the main thing he says is it trains your mind to just do things, to just make decisions and stick with it, you know, rather than, because people, and I've seen it with myself, you debate on something and you sit on it for weeks and months, and that delays everything in your life. So at the end of the day, make the decision, just do it in a way, you know, just do what you're wanting to do what you're debating about, and get on with it. And so I found a lot of value in that. And from there, I just thought, I'm going to take what he's doing and I'm going to make it my own in a way, and share it with my audience, inspire a few people, and who knows what can come from that. The health benefits, obviously, like I said, are great, but the more mental benefits, I think, have really helped me, you know? Yeah,
and just do it. That's the greatest ever strapline on a product brand ever. So whoever thought of that you won, because that's the greatest ever line. You talk about that, and I call it the winners. Like, I call it the winners mindset. Like, if you think about someone like Goggins or someone of that ilk, going out running at 5 a.m. isn't really about going out running in the morning. That's the winning time. That's the champion's mindset of, I do that because it's difficult, not because I enjoy it. And like,
I do it because you won't. That's why I do it. Like, not you specifically.
I know what you're saying.
I do it because people won't. You know, that's why I do it. I know that other people aren't, and I know that the 1% of people. and that's why I say it in my videos, if success was easy and everyone could achieve success, then you wouldn't have to do the extra things. But I mean, it's so easy to see that only the 1% have success. Why do they have success? Because they do things that other people aren't doing.
I couldn't agree more. Eagles fly with the eagles, Billy. Do you know what I mean? That's how it is. How long are you going to carry on jumping in the water for?
To be honest, I don't know. I don't know how long I'll film. Yeah, no, I'm gonna carry on for as long as I can. I've just actually moved house, and there's no cold showers. I've done an ice bath. I've got the ocean near me that I might use. Beaches have just reopened. But
nice.
I'm gonna keep carrying it on for as long as I can, because even if I'm not filming it, I just think it's really good for you. So
do it for the rest of your life, man. It's your thing, isn't it?
Exactly.
Where does this mindset come from? Where does this come from within you?
I believe a lot in your parents. I believe a lot in that. Both my parents set up business. We immigrated from the UK to San Diego with very little money, and me as a 2-year-old kid, and my sister as a 1-year-old kid, as in like 1990 or 2000, I think it was 1999. Yeah. And they made something from nothing. My mum set up a massive dance company. My dad set up a soccer club, football. Soccer club. And created something from nothing. And I saw growing up subconsciously, I wasn't consciously going, ooh, like that's brilliant. But subconsciously, I think I've picked up what it takes to make it. And a lot of it's grind, a lot of it's hustle, a lot of it's hard work, a lot of it's perseverance. And I've learned so much from that. And then also from there, I've sort of kicked on and looked at the people that are in the position that I want to be in, and reverse engineered it to, well, they didn't get there by playing Fortnite on a Friday night or a Saturday night, or spending 3 hours of a morning watching Netflix. They got there because they spent this time now understanding that in their 20s they worked their ass off so they could have what they have in their 30s, 40s, and the rest of their life.
Yeah, God, it's massively on. You're massively on brand. You're on my level with how you speak, and sort of people get it mixed up. They think, oh well, I'm 35 or I'm 40 or I'm 50. I can't start now. Like, no, you really can start now. Like you really can. There is no limit. I think I'm going to be one of those guys who's like 60, 70. Like, what's the new deal? What's the new business? Yeah. Like, let's keep it going. Yeah. And one thing I agree on, Billy, and I've had a conversation there with someone where I was sort of trying to convince them why partnerships with other businesses are a great idea. Team ups. What's your take on it and working with other brands?
Yeah, I mean, the world of social media as an agency, the whole thing's partnerships. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have no businesses if you aren't working with other people and other businesses. So I believe massively in that. I also believe massively in relationships. I'm young, but I've learned so quickly that I just don't want to work with people who are a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, by doing that, you are losing the chance to work with someone that you would really enjoy work with, because you're putting double the time in to deal with someone who is causing you trouble. And so I believe massively in relationships, and I believe massively in partnerships, and also I think that's the way you get on the ladder to success. You slowly build partnerships with people who are just a little bit above you, a little bit on a higher tier than you. Then all of a sudden you get to their level. You build a new partnership, you get to their level. You build a new partnership, you get to their level. Before you know it, you're on that level.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, sometimes I don't try and convince people why they should come with me. Like, you either in it and you're on brand straight away and we can do business, or you can't. I kind of feel people kind of make a decision, don't they, in like sort of 30 seconds if it's going to be right for them.
Yeah.
Maybe I can be a little bit hesitant, like a bit sort of presumptuous sometimes, but I get a vibe off people. Do you know what I mean? Like, I instantly just think, we've got something, like it could be fire. And I feel that's a big part of it as well. Super.
No, I agree.
You've talked about people like Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, etc. Like, it blows my mind Billy, when I speak to people in business and I say, "Oh, who do you listen to?" and they go, "Oh, I don't listen to anyone," I'm like, "What? Like, how can you not consume these people's content? You have, if you wanted to buy their time, do you know how much that would cost? Do you know how much an hour's time of Gary Vee would cost you? The importance of podcasts, and who podcast wise do you listen to? Like, who do you consume?
I listen massively to Gary Vee. I think he's been the main one for the past year, because what I love is, I mean, I almost feel like he resonates with me for some reason. And I'm sure a lot of people feel this as well. But when I listen to his content, I think, obviously, immigrant family, my family in a similar way.
Yeah, 100%.
Of that nature. Obviously, he's grinded and hustled to get to where he's at. And he feels that everything that he's done has been through hard work. Everything he's done has been through, obviously, intuition as well. But I mean, he massively for me is he gives so much value on a daily basis, and a lot of it, and I say this to people, like, a lot of it seems obvious, but you would never consciously think about it or make the decision. The decision 100%. To get on TikTok, my decision to get on TikTok was solely because of him consistently talking about it. The decision for me to actually post content and be patient and understand that it's a long game seems so obvious in the long run, when you think about it, but I would never have been as patient as I am without listening to his content, you know? And so he's massive for that. And then the Tony Robbins one for me is another big one, because with the anxiety stuff that I've had and understanding, balancing sort of happiness and lifestyle and creating a message that resonates with people with also the hard work, I think Tony Robbins is the ideal for that, because whenever I'm feeling like lack of motivation, burnt out, things like that, I listen to Tony Robbins and immediately puts everything in perspective, you know?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, Billy, because you're so out there, and you obviously you're in the public forum all the time, and you are open to attack, and unfortunately people will look at you and say, there's a guy successful, getting the right message out, and will instantly just take a dislike to you. And we're all human, and when people take attack at us or they leave comments or whatever they do, like, we all have a way of dealing with it. I sort of look at a negative comment and think, I'm going to reach out to that person and say, dude, do you want to jump on a Zoom call? And almost flip the script and make them go, well, that's not what I was expecting back. Why would I want to jump on a Zoom call? Because you're missing something. That's why you attack me, because you're missing something. And if I can reverse that and turn him in from a troll or whatever the term is into someone who's gone, actually, a great guy. Now, you can't do that on a Gary Vee scale because there's too many. But I even see people attacking Gary Vee, and I read the comments and I think, what sort of CV must you have to be able to attack Gary Vee?
No, I know. I 100% agree with you. I think I look at it similar to you, that these people are, no person ever in a positive mind frame would bring someone else down or comment something negatively. I couldn't name one person who is happy, who is genuinely happy, not someone who portrays that they're happy through social media, but I couldn't name someone who's genuinely happy who has ever posted a comment about me that is with the intention of bringing me down, you know? And so I look at it like that, like and sometimes I click on their profile, you've got 3 followers or you've got 7 followers, or even if you've got more followers, like, you must be in such a negative place yourself. So I mean, I don't really, I used to, but I don't anymore. I don't really take any of it to heart. And especially on TikTok, the beauty of it is, and I say that to people, like, if they're commenting, they're helping with your video to spread more awareness. They are creating conversations, micro conversations in your chat, which is on your page, building more awareness for you. So that's why I even say in some of my videos now, get the hate comments in. I can't wait. Get the hate comments in. I love it. You know? Yeah,
no, it's a great one. And they're creating traction, aren't they, on your post? And at the end of the day, they're giving you their greatest thing, which is their time, which I think they don't see the irony of it. They're giving you their time, and that's the greatest thing they can ever give anyone. Billy, we're flying through this, mate. We're on a cracker. I'd like to sort of talk about the close down of the show, which is the legendary 5 watts. And the first one being, COVID has changed people's routine, and I believe as human beings, routine is very important. So talk us through your day. What does your day look like?
My day during COVID or my day in general?
COVID. Let's talk now. Yeah, let's talk.
Right, yeah. Because my day in general would consist of, obviously, I play professional soccer, football in San Diego. And so my day normally would consist of that. But during COVID, I'm trying to stick as much to a routine as I can, because I realized early on in the COVID days that just throwing things at a wall and having different things and having different schedules throughout the day was not working for me. And I don't know if it'll work for anyone, because it makes everything tougher, going to bed late, waking up at different times. So for me, I wake up every day and work out if I can, number one, because healthy body, healthy mind. And then from there I eat. And immediately from there I check if all my posts have gone out that I have to schedule, because I am working in my business and on it at the moment. And then from there I film probably 3 or 4 TikToks that I want to put out for the day. I prepare my own Instagram content, my own LinkedIn content, my own Facebook content, because I'm invested in myself really at the end of the day, more so than other people. So I'm trying to put myself priority as much as I am my clients. And then I'm doing things like this as well, hopping on podcasts, share as much value as I can, filming things that I feel can be used to resonate with my audience. But I'm really doubling down now, and I'll continue to do so, on trying to build my personal brand. Like we talked about, this is the greatest opportunity. I'm flipping the script here. Like this is not bad. This is not a bad time. This is a great opportunity for someone like me, and for anyone really, to build brand and to resonate with people. So when we do come out of this on the other side, you are relevant. And I filmed a video earlier with this, like, if you aren't taking advantage of the opportunity now, everyone sat at home on their phones watching content. Crazy. You are quickly going to become irrelevant. Very quickly going to become irrelevant.
I saw something brilliant the other day. A friend of mine owns a PR and social media company, and she was saying, if you've got a marketing budget set and you're thinking, when the world restarts, I'm going to spend that budget then. And she said, that is a terrible thing to do, because that's when everyone's going to spend the budget. The time to spend it is now, because everyone's on the phone. All your competition are holding and waiting. And if you're going to be the cavalry making the charge now, you're going to get so much more exposure. Facebook ad prices are down, Google AdWords prices are down, Instagram, all of this stuff, it's ready for the now. And I'm like, I love it. I absolutely love it. Because once the world restarts, everyone's going to go bang now, but everyone's going to shout at the same time, and it's going to get lost. Yeah. Second one, what workouts are you doing? Either mental workouts or physical workouts, as in, are you a CrossFitter? Are you a runner? What do you do?
Yeah, I'm a runner.
Strava?
Obviously, hey?
Are you on Strava?
No, what's that?
Oh, right. Sorry, I thought Strava was worldwide. Oh, it's a fantastic running app. It's like a community running app in the UK. I thought it was worldwide.
It may be worldwide. I don't know.
Oh, it's really good, dude. I mean, really good.
Is it? I'll have a look at it. Yeah. No, but I'm a runner. I'm into the fitness and weights and all that sort of stuff. I've got a thing called the Burpee Challenge, which my uncle put me on to what I'm doing at the moment, which is unbelievable. The Burpee Challenge, love that. And then mental stuff. It's a tough time, yeah. So mental stuff's massive at the moment. I think I read something the other day, like the human brain has something like 100,000 thoughts a day that go through your head. And so how can you program those to be positive thoughts? How can you program those to be thoughts that inspire you and motivate you, you know? And so in terms of mental activities, I feel it's more what I'm doing for my physical body that are putting me in the right mental state, you know?
Awesome.
When I'm getting less sleep, that is when I am losing motivation. I'm losing mental strength. I'm in a bad mood when I wake up because I haven't had sleep in that day. And the same thing goes for eating habits. If I don't feel like I've eaten enough in the day, that's where I start to lose motivation. So I'm trying my best, rather than having mental techniques, to just fill my body and feed my body with the best things that I know are right for me. And in turn, that is keeping me in the mind frame that is helpful.
Awesome. You know? What have you started? Have you started anything new in COVID?
I mean, I've started more outreach, and within my certainly started, but doubled down on because I feel like during COVID, a lot of people are maybe working less. I feel like I'm working double at the moment, because when you're in your own business and you control your own fate, there's always something to do, So I wouldn't say you started something new, but I've doubled down on everything that I've been doing. And so, yeah.
Awesome. Anything you've stopped? What have you stopped doing?
Stop the football side physically, because we can't do that at the moment. All the season's cancelled. But what I've stopped doing is I am trying to work less in my business and more on my business.
Classic.
So I'm looking massively for people to either outsource to or people to bring in that I trust that can manage the day-to-day operations, which will allow me to be more the creative mind, because I feel like I do have a creative mind that has the ability to change any business on social. And so I want to be able to come into a business or a person and say, this is what I'll do. This is what we can do based on what you're telling me. I had a call this morning that was specifically that. And I want to be able to just discuss strategy, create the package, and then be like, okay, you're going to execute this, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, And so I'm trying my best to do that.
Awesome.
And that's how I think is where I'm going to grow,
Fifth and final one, Billy. What's the first thing you're going to do after lockdown's finished?
I'm going to do a lot of things when lockdown's finished. The first thing that I'm going to do to keep it professional on the podcast is I'm probably going to go in and walk into every restaurant there is out there that is still going. And I am going to speak to them about the opportunity that they're missing right now if they aren't capitalizing on a relaunch strategy to bring people in. Because everybody, especially in restaurants, are going to be thinking, how can we make back our money as quickly as possible? We aren't going to give anything away. Yeah, if you go the other way and give something away for free, that's how you're going to get people in the door more long term. And so I'm going to walk into every single restaurant in friggin' Southern California if I have to and start speaking to them.
Billy, look, it's been fantastic speaking to you. I've got nothing but admiration, and I wish you all the best and success. And I think you're going to be massive, dude. I really do. And you know what? Like I said to you, in 5 years' time, when you're up there and you're doing keynote speeches, I'm going to say, I had that guy in the podcast 5 years ago. And I'm like,
I love that.
And there's the episode. No, it's great stuff. Billy, where can people find you on social media, websites, etc.?
So you can find me on I've obviously got my marketing agency, forevergrowingyou.com. That's where you can inquire about potentially reaching out and collaborating social media wise. In terms of my personal brand, you can find me on Billy Garton Jr. on all social platforms at the moment. And the reason for the junior is because my dad's obviously Billy Garton as well. And at the moment, when you type in Google, he's popping up because he played for Manchester United. So I'm trying to diverse myself before I can grow enough that I'm popping up at the top of the page regardless, so.
Awesome. Billy, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share the video that you posted a few weeks ago when you said, if you leave lockdown and you haven't started a business, learned a new skill, or got a new side hustle, you never lacked time, you lacked ambition. Because for me, that is an awesome saying. And if you don't somehow make that your stamp, then you're going to miss out, because that's a fantastic thing to be saying.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do then. I'm going to create another video that specifically targets and goes all in on the energy and motivation and everything with that message, and you can share that one, because that is what I'm going to double down on over the next few weeks.
Billy, I look forward to that. And look, thanks very much for your time. Stay safe in COVID, and I wish you all the success moving forward.
No, I appreciate it massively, John.
Cheers, mate. Thanks very much. Thanks for coming on the show, brother. Cheers. Adios.